Zach Krasawski. This is little Jeremy.
And I'm Jessica, and this is Oliver Jane. What I really noticed was where the focus was. It wasn't on a worship leader or worship songs or what songs were right for me. Sunday mornings weren't about how somebody else chose to make the church run. It wasn't about somebody's favorite sermon or something like that. It was chosen by people who had spent a lot of time and a lot of thought and had gone through the crucible of years to choose our Sunday morning and how we saw reverence for the Lord.
I grew up in Christian church my whole life, non-denominational. My parents were in children's ministry, so we were always kind of running around early on Sundays and late on Sundays, and so that was always a part of rhythm of life, was Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights for church.
I wasn't really raised in a Christian home. My dad isn't a Christian, and my mom took us to Sunday school for 2 or 3 years when I was really little. So I had a concept and a general understanding of God, but we didn't do church on Sundays or holidays or anything. Then when I was in high school, somebody who sat next to me invited me to her youth group and thought it was a good way to meet people. So I went, and in a way that I didn't understand, the Lord really met me there. And I got a relationship with God by doing missions and going to YWAM.
A big thing for me was going through YWAM as well. Was that generosity and giving was a big part for me, living for a couple of years and all being through donations and things like that. Not receiving a salary. That made a huge impact on, from that time forward, always just being more aware and more sort of cognizant of giving and how that can just directly affect people's lives, because it so directly affected my life.
My giving experience feels really similar. I mean, it was so drastic to be in missions, and that's all you have to go off of, is people giving to you. Yeah, and I think we always put our giving, where do we feel passionate about it, but we also put it in our always category. What are we always thinking about? What are we always prioritizing? It's not something that is after our car payments or after we do our Christmas shopping. It's always in the column before that.
Because they're real live people most of the time.
Yeah.
They're people who know and love us, and that we know and love and want to help take care of.
Is seeing a church budget doesn't just feel like a number necessarily to me. That is what it takes for this house that we find community in, is the house that we find our worship in, and the place that the Lord has made for us. But also that it takes care of everything else that we want to know is happening as a church. We want to know that there are needs being met by the church, and that we love to see the body moving, and we know that is part of our mission. If we aren't the people doing the work, then we are the ones behind it, kind of supporting it.
Those specific people are only here because of can only continue doing this because of giving and because of our caring. If it's not financially, then what is it? How are you giving of your time, and how are you giving of your creative efforts and cooking and fixing cars and just doing things? I think that is a really interesting way to sort of challenge yourself and see what can change and what you can do differently.